Hey guys, Brian Henney here. So yesterday I put up a video of what my expectations were for March 15th's U.S. presidential primary elections for both the Democrats and the Republicans. And now that they're over, this video is going to be about just a recap of how the elections went and how I did in my predictions. So first off, I'm going to start here by bringing up the results from yesterday's elections. Alright, so those are the results of the elections yesterday from Real Clear Politics. So I'm going to go in the order that they have them on there. First, talking about how each side did in Florida, which for the most part I got Florida. I would say had a good prediction of Florida. Most people expected it to go the way it did. It was a landslide for both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. It resulted in Marco Rubio dropping out of the race, suspending his campaign. I think it was called on both sides within a minute of the polling being closed, which is what I predicted would happen. It ended up being about what people expected. Big win for both Trump and Clinton. Next, there's Ohio, which was maybe the most surprising one when you include both sides, because neither side went exactly as I expected. My worst prediction was on the Democratic side in Ohio. I thought we would see a similar instance to what happened in Michigan, where Bernie Sanders would vastly outperform the polls because, as I said in yesterday's video, Ohio is pretty much an open primary, which means that independents can vote on the Democratic side. There are different theories as to why it wasn't the same in Michigan. I'm not sure why. I think it's going to be interesting going forward to see if Michigan ends up just completely being an outlier or if there is a trend that continues. But as I'll go through some of the other polls, I'm not sure what if they are indicating the same as Ohio or what. But yeah, Ohio did not go the way I expected. I expected a close win for Bernie Sanders. But at the very least, I thought whoever won it, I thought Hillary Clinton could win it, but thought if she did, it would be by less than 5 points. I thought that if Bernie Sanders won it, it would be by less than 5 points. It ended up she won by over 13 points. So I wasn't really close on that one. That was definitely not what I expected there. So on the Republican side, I did think that John Kasich was going to win, but I didn't think he was going to win by the margin he did. He won by over 10 points. I thought it was going to be a lot closer than that. But that's a winner-take-all state, so that's a very positive thing for him. He got all the delegates there. 66 on the Republican side was the amount of delegates he got. So I think he had about 45. Trump had about 35, so he won by about 10. That's a wider margin than I expected, I know. So moving on to North Carolina. North Carolina pretty much went as expected. Hillary Clinton won pretty easily. I think I predicted about 15 to 20 point win for Hillary Clinton. She ended up winning by just under 15. So it was a little bit closer than most people expected, but I think the most interesting thing about it is that it was really close to the same percentage as Ohio, which is pretty surprising because most people expected Ohio to be closer than North Carolina, including me. I didn't think that they would both be within 2 points of each other. It's surprising. So, but yeah, that's about what I expected on the Democratic side. On the Republican side, it was a little bit closer than I expected, but mostly I picked Trump to win in North Carolina. He did win. So, yeah. Moving on to Illinois. Illinois on the Democratic side was basically a tie. Hillary Clinton got a slight lead She won by about less than 2 points, which is it is a win. It's not within half a point or anything, but it's basically a tie. I think she got like one more delegate, so that's really a tie. Yeah, so my expectation for that, I thought Bernie Sanders was going to be able to win that, based on the how close the polling was, and then the fact that it's an open election. I thought he would outperform the polls, and he did somewhat, but not enough to get the win. And then on the Republican side, it was about what I expected. Donald Trump won. No, really don't need to say much more than that. It's about what I expected on that side. And then lastly, in Missouri, on the Democratic side, was an even closer matchup. And the same could be said on the Republican side, as you see on there. Well, not see, but saw it on there. Missouri was very close on both sides. It's really a tie on both sides. Both of them were decided by less than half a point. The delegates are going to be essentially the same. Maybe one difference depending on who wins and who it's determined the winner and loser there on each side. So really, essentially, Missouri was a tie on both sides. I guess it's not totally surprising. I thought both of them would be fairly close. I thought Missouri, Bernie Sanders could have. I thought that there was a good chance he could have done better there based on polling in other states that he's outperformed by a lot. Kansas, I wasn't sure because it's right next to it, and that only had one poll, and he was down by 10, ended up winning by 35. But that's a caucus, which he tends to do better in. But Missouri was an open primary, which I thought he would do better in, and it looks like, based on the aggregate of polls, he outperformed that, but it was still essentially a tie, not a big performance there. On the other side, I thought Trump would win and thought that Ted Cruz had a chance, so them essentially tying isn't really too surprising. Overall, Marco Rubio suspended his campaign, not surprising. I expected him to lose Florida, and if you can't win your home state, especially a major state like Florida, it doesn't really make sense to stay in it. He didn't have any chance going forward. John Kasich stays in it, winning his home state. Gets winner take all state. It's really important. I don't know how much of a chance he realistically has because I don't think the math works for him. Overall, on the Republican side, Donald Trump just increased his lead. He definitely won the night yesterday on the Republican side. Although John Kasich probably feels pretty good based on where they were at going into it. Winning Ohio, getting all of Ohio's delegates was important for him. He's going to be most likely the establishment candidate, get probably the majority of Marco Rubio supporters. And Ted Cruz might get some, Donald Trump might get some, but I think Kasich benefits the most from that. And yeah, so Donald Trump easily has the lead right now. And guess that's it on the Republican side. It's not over, but Donald Trump increased his lead. On the Democratic side, some people are probably going to say it's over, but it's not. Bernie Sanders has said he's going to stay in it until the convention, which makes sense, I think. He didn't do particularly well yesterday. It was definitely a win for Hillary Clinton, the way yesterday ended up going down. There's no way around that. I'm personally a Bernie Sanders supporter, but I can recognize that yesterday was a very good day for Hillary Clinton. So yeah, he's going to stay in it. It's going to get harder for him because she just increased her delegate lead by a pretty good amount. But her big advantage was in the South, and the entire South has voted. So absolutely, he's going to stay in it. He still has a chance. And things got harder after yesterday, but he still has a chance to win this, especially with states like New York and Pennsylvania coming up in the next month. Pennsylvania's just over a month from now, but that's a big state. New York's going to be really important. And then a lot of the states coming up favor Bernie Sanders. So it'll be interesting to see what happens a month from now going into the April 26th elections, where we're at. And I'm interested to see how everything goes with that. He's still going to be in it. Both sides are not over. Then they'll still be interesting to watch. So, yeah, you can like, comment below what you think, agree with, disagree, and everything. Subscribe, and thanks for watching. See you next time.